It's now time for Tiger Talk, heard before each Salem Tiger softball game with Stan Stevens and Coach Philip Carr. Now Tiger Talk on KSMO.
Welcome to Tiger Talk. Stan Stevens along with Coach Philip Carr. Coach, Salem Tigers got over their losing streak with a 9-5 win yesterday in St. Clair. The bats really didn't get rolling, but the St. Clair Lady Bulldogs gave you an awful lot of gifts with a lot of walks and wild pitches.
Absolutely, and kept them from being able to, get a force out, and they were constantly their pass balls or wild pitches that allowed us to move up a base and makes it a little easier to score runs. I thought their second pitcher, that was their first pitcher they started was their number 2. She really struggled throwing strikes, and like we had 3 hits for the night, but I think there was a total of 12 walks between the two, so allowed us to have a lot of base runners. And then they made a couple errors. One was critical. Their shortstop made the win, got underneath her, and allowed us to score a few extra runs. But at the same time, we made a throwing error in their 5-run inning, and all those runs were unearned. So it was. They call it an ugly win, but we needed a win, so we'll take whatever we can get.
You saw how fast the St. Clair Lady Bulldogs could attack, though. In that one inning, they got their 5 runs, which I believe was the second inning. You opened the door with an error. They got a couple of, I would say, kind of soft hits, and then all of a sudden the big bats started rolling. They got some girls who can pound it with back-to-back home runs. Coach, that tally added up very quickly in that inning.
I did, and that's not that's not the first time that's happened to us this year. When we were at Owensville and lost that game 5-3, 4 of their 5 runs was scored with 2 outs and nobody on. One inning, Owensville had hit 4 consecutive doubles. So, regardless of how many outs there are, your pitcher's got to make some big pitches and get you out of an inning. And most big innings that you give up are usually the result of walks or errors. And last night it happened to be, a throwing error.
Well, right after that, though, Addie Kunkel really settled down and retired 13 in a row. Had some good plays. I know we have one from Chloe out in center field on a hard hit line drive. Came in and made a real nice catch, but other good plays on the infield by the defense. And all of a sudden, the Tigers able to tie the game, then go back on top, and then maintain that lead. They did threaten in the top of the 7th inning, but were able to get out of the game and get that win. Yeah,
it was an important win for us, and I did think our defense was improved last night overall. And I think the throwing error that we had was the only error that we did have, and I thought Bella Javin made a couple nice plays out in right field, too, on a couple deep balls, particularly the last one that she got. And they had some runners on base, and she didn't get turned around. A lot of times an outfielder get turned around on a ball that they think is, it's going to slice to the line, and she opened up correctly, and then she made sure that when she made an adjustment, she never got turned all the way around where she lost sight of the ball. So that was a big play, and our outfield made some good plays for us last night, and we're gonna have to continue to do so. It's like I think Addie does a pretty good job mixing pitches. She's not the overpowering type of pitcher, so a lot of games we might only have 2 or 3 Ks for the night, and so our defense got to make plays behind her, and not everybody has a power pitcher, and Addie actually added quite a bit of velocity from last year as a sophomore, so she's going to need to do the same thing over this off season and be able to bring it even harder her senior year.
But as you were mentioning, the way she changes speeds, Coach, she had a lot of those girls from St. Clair either off balance or way out in front to where they were way in front of the ball, and then they were staying back on waiting for that slow pitch, and then with the amount of velocity she has on the pitch, she had them grounding to second base quite a bit with not much on it, so that she had them guessing, and if you got teams guessing at what you're going to throw, you're going to be successful.
You are, and really, every time you go out, you can learn something. It's like I told Addie, both home runs were on changeups that she left up. If you throw a changeup, you need to get that thing down, and you want it at their shoe top, especially when you're, one of the home runs was a 1-2 count, and the other one was, I believe, an 0-1 count. So, if you're ahead as a pitcher and you got a couple of the best hitters on the opposing team, you've got to make them go fishing, and you got to make them work. And that's why the one conference that I had last night is when those girls came up one last time, and I said, hey, whatever you do, we'll take the risk. Walk them both if you have to, but I want the ball knee high or below, and if they walk, they walk. We're going to make somebody else beat us. So, and she did exactly what I asked her to do, and hopefully she just, as the pitcher develops, you hope not just their physical talents improve, but the way they approach the hitters, and they're learning the mental aspect of pitching.
So the Lady Tigers get to come right back again today, take on an Alton team. Coach, we were supposed to play earlier in the year. That game got rained out. Here we are putting it in the final week of the regular season, which has already been kind of compacted. So, you've got the game today, then you got an off day tomorrow, then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday you got the tournament. There's no rest for the wicked right now at this time of year.
So there's not, and then I guess to make matters a little bit worse, I might as well mention now. At about 10:30 this morning, I found out that Addie's got a strain of her quad insert and on her back foot. Pitchers have to drag their toe when they drive off, and so she's got some pain on her quad insert on the inside of her knee, and it's really, this is a game that we're a week basically from districts, and plus we got 4 in the tournament, and we got 1 on Thursday. So I'm probably going to go with Micah Bobbitt tonight against Alton. She's a freshman, so it'll be her first varsity start, and hopefully she can at least throw strikes and let her defense help her out. But first varsity start's always nerve-wracking. You don't know how it's going to go. But at this point in the season, I just think it would be dumb on my part to risk straining Addie's quad even more in a game that really isn't as important as we have later on this week and next week.
So how is Alton doing this year, Coach? What do we expect to see from them?
The last time I checked with Alton, they were 4-10. I was actually getting ready to do that here any time, and just to see if they started winning again. I do know that like East Carter, they lost to by 2 runs, and we lost to them by 2 runs, and we lost to Ava 3-1, and they lost to Ava 8-5. So apparently that at times they do play well, and so that's really about all I know about them. I know that St. Clair was 5 of their last 6 last night when they came in, and so I thought we were ready to play, but we've got to hit the ball better. I was really disappointed. Clearly, everyone at the ballpark could tell when we had the bases loaded, nobody out, and didn't move a run or didn't score a run. I mean, that stuff's gone on way too many times this year, and it's. I'd be lying to say if I wasn't extremely frustrated about it, because as a coach, I'm always talking about the mental aspect of hitting, slap a ground ball to the left second baseman, make sure you get on top of it. If the infield's in, that's when you want to smoke one by them. But if they're back, we need to take advantage of them being back and just make sure we hit a ground ball, get on top, and score a runner. And they've heard that same speech now since first week of September, and we're still not doing it. So as a coach, I'm extremely frustrated, and we're down the wire here. So we've got a week to figure it out and better start executing better than we did last night and some of the games in the past.
All right, Coach. Well, the best of luck today against Alton in this makeup game. Good luck, Coach.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Stay tuned. Tiger softball is next.
Thank you, Stan. That has been Tiger Talk with Coach Philip Carr. Stay tuned for Salem Tigers softball.
It's hard to move to a new town.